Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we've all been a child, and a lot of us end up becoming parents. But have you ever stopped to think about what really shapes that fundamental bond? Today, we're going to break down the psychological theories that are like the building blocks of the parent-child relationship. So, here's the big question, right? The one every parent asks. Is there some kind of secret formula for getting it right? And look, there's no single magic recipe, but what psychology does give us are these incredible frameworks. Think of them like powerful lenses that help us make sense of this super complex, beautiful, and yeah, sometimes totally baffling journey of parenting. Okay, so where does this journey even begin? Well, it all starts with the absolute most critical building block of all, that emotional bond. It's the foundation for literally everything else. And psychologists, they have a specific term for it: attachment. And you're not going to believe where a huge piece of this puzzle came from. It was from these, well, pretty famous and honestly controversial experiments with baby monkeys way back in the 1950s. A researcher named Harry Harlow asked a really simple but deep question. What actually ties a baby to its mother? Is it just about the food she provides, or is it about comfort? So what he did was he created two fake mothers. One was made of this cold, hard wire, but, and this is key, it had a bottle of milk. The other one was soft, wrapped in cloth, super cuddly, but offered no food. And the results? They were a total game changer. The baby monkeys, they spent almost all their time clinging to that soft cloth mother. They only zipped over to the wire mother when they were absolutely starving. This just blew up everything science thought it knew at the time. Harlow's big takeaway was this: that bond. It wasn't just about survival, getting fed. It was fundamentally built on these feelings of comfort and security. And this idea didn't stop there. A psychologist named Jean Bowlby took it and ran with it, developing this concept he called a secure base. Just think of it like an emotional home base, right? When a kid knows they have that safe harbor to come back to, they feel way more confident to go out and explore the world. Bowlby argued this is absolutely crucial for healthy social and emotional development. Then another researcher, Mary Ainsworth, she took this even further. She actually identified 4 distinct patterns of attachment. It was pretty clever. She watched how babies reacted when their mom left a room and then came back. And what she found were these clear links between how the caregiver acted and how the child was attached. So a secure attachment, that comes from a parent who's really responsive. But then you have avoidant or resistant styles, which are often tied to parents who are maybe less sensitive or just inconsistent. And then there's the disorganized style, which sadly is often a red flag for more serious issues like abuse. All right, so we've got the emotional foundation down. What's next? Well, now we can talk about the blueprint, the kind of overall approach a parent uses to guide their child. And we call these parenting styles. You can pretty much break down most parenting styles by looking at 2 key things. First, there's demandingness. This is all about the rules, the expectations, the structure you set. And then, on the other hand, you've got responsiveness, and that's all about the warmth, the support, that emotional connection. So check this out. When you put those 2 ideas on a grid, like the researcher Diana Baumeren did, you get these 4 very distinct parenting styles. If you've got high demands, but not a lot of that responsive warmth, that's authoritarian. But if you have high demands and high warmth, that's authoritative. Low demands, but lots of warmth, that's permissive. And if you're low on both, well, that's what we call uninvolved parenting. Okay, so why should we care about these labels? Well, it matters a lot because decades of research show a really strong link between these styles and how kids turn out. That authoritative style, that sweet spot of clear rules and lots of love, is time and time again linked with the best outcomes, from social skills to doing well in school. And at the other end, that uninvolved style is unfortunately connected with the toughest outcomes for kids. But here's the thing, right? A blueprint is just a piece of paper. The parent, the actual builder, they're on a journey too. They're constantly growing and changing, right along with their kid. This researcher, Ellen Galinsky, she mapped out this whole evolution beautifully with her 6 stages of parenthood. It shows how a parent's job just completely transforms over time. You start with image making during pregnancy, dreaming of what it'll be like. Then you're in the nurturing phase with a new baby. Suddenly you're establishing authority with a toddler who's testing every boundary. Then you're helping your school-age kid interpret the world. Then you're renegotiating everything for interdependence with a teenager. And finally, you hit the departure stage. Wow. I mean, each step requires totally new skills and a whole new way of looking at things. But of course, parenting doesn't happen in a bubble, right? a parent's style, and where they are in their own journey, those are just two pieces of a way, way bigger puzzle. We absolutely have to talk about the environment. I mean, there are just so many things going on here. The parent's own personality, their background, that all matters. And the kid's unique temperament, that matters a ton. An easygoing baby is going to get a different reaction than a really challenging one, right? And then you have these huge outside forces, your culture, money stress, the neighborhood you live in, who you have for support. It's this incredibly complex, interconnected dance. And that brings us to this really critical idea. Parenting is a two-way street. It's what we call bi-directional. It's not just parents molding their kids like clay. No way. Kids, with their own unique personalities and behaviors, are constantly influencing and shaping their parents back. It's this constant feedback loop. So let's circle all the way back to where we started. Is there a secret formula for good parenting? And the answer pretty clearly is no. But what we do have are these incredible frameworks: attachment, parenting styles, those developmental stages. And these aren't meant to be rigid labels to stick on people. Think of them as lenses. Lenses that help us see ourselves, our kids, and the amazing evolving relationships we're building together just a little bit more clearly. So the real question isn't about a formula. The real question is, what do these lenses reveal about your story?